Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck this place!
You know what's weird? I'm originally from San Jose. I was born in San Jose. I have a lot of family there. And I don't know San Jose pizza culture, but my favorite place to eat pizza in the entire world is House of Pizza in San Jose. It's far too expensive, and it feels like eating just a pound of hot cheese, but it's so fucking good, dude. And like every time my family has any business in the Bay Area, they always swing by and grab like 2 pizzas and bring them home to Stockton.
That's awesome.
So
That's
fucking
so good.
Pizza, I think, is uniquely emotional. You know, like
dude.
You know, if you watch Chef's Table, everybody's like, food is emotional. But like pizza is like fucking, you know, like if the loyalties, I feel like, you know, people have the same opinions about pizza that they had about like the Game of Thrones final season. You know what I mean? Like it fucking hurts them if it's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
That's 100%. It's like the spot that I work at is called A Slice of New York. It's on Stevens Creek. I mean, it's legit like a spot you would find in New York. It's super small. You can see all the way to the back of the restaurant. Like you can see what everyone's doing, and like no seating at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And actually during the pandemic, they haven't let a single person into the restaurant,
right?
Customer wise, and there's like a little pickup window that we just like slide open a little screen and push all their shit out and then close it. Keep the door locked. It's fucking, it's kind of nice. We keep telling the manager like, yo, no more people in here ever again. Fuck them. You know,
most businesses don't need people inside. You know,
we don't.
I think that's one thing I hope that a lot of people have learned from the pandemic. Don't go inside. Well, I guess I should intro the podcast. Welcome to Fuck This Place, a podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, another fantastic guest, a comic that I wanted to book right from the jump because you know what? At the end of the day, I think you're hilarious, and I also think you just don't get enough love in the LA comedy scene. You know, it's just, I know, I'm not going to name names, but I know far too many assholes that aren't as funny as you. They get more play than you out here. So I was I got to get this guy on my show. I love him, Mr. Chase Austin.
Dude, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude.
One of the only 3 acknowledged Chases.
It's true.
In all of
that
comedy,
is true.
I would say.
Yeah. I mean, you know, part of that is by design. Like I started my show when I started comedy, and I just needed a guaranteed place to do time every week. And then as that kind of went on, I, you know, didn't really promote who was the producer. I didn't really, you know what I mean? So like people would be messaging the show page, like for booking and stuff like that. And you know, the funny thing is like, since we've been doing it in this park and like during the pandemic and everything, it's just popped off like crazy. Like the crowds are really good every week. We got, you know, a lot more people requesting to be on it and stuff. And I just recently put my tag in the actual bio of the page.
Right.
And it's yeah, I know. And already just people adding me that I don't know, just requests in the inbox and stuff like that. And it's kind of nice because like, you know, when your goal is to like be a comic and you're in LA and you're grinding and shit, and it you know, it's easy to feel kind of like, oh, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't go there, maybe I, you know, like I'll book this guy because he does this or whatever. And now that I've kind of like changed courses and I'm still doing comedy, obviously still booking the show remotely, I'm gonna start a branch of it up here once things kind of open up. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Like you know, like I'm just like, yo, you know, if I know you don't like me and you're in my inbox, I'm gonna be like, hey man, so we're full for the foreseeable future, you know, like like those emails you get, like when you submit and there's like the differentiation when you can tell it's just like, oh yeah, you'll never book me, and like you're actually full, and like you'll hit me up and you know, a lot of that stuff. But I'm enjoying it, you know. It's it sucks that it got good right when I moved to San Jose, but you know, just booking remote, and it's a place to go back to every week or every time I go back to LA.
For sure.
And you know, like Kyle and Mike and Tommy are all just running that shit for me, which is dope, and they're having a good time, so everything's good so far still.
Oh yeah,
that's well, gents. Yeah, I would say the number one worst thing about running a comedy show is, for me, booking the comedy show. I mean, like, obviously it's cool when you get the people you want or whatever, but just having people fucking message you about shit, and like you have to be like, fuck, like, I guess I do. I mean, I don't know this person. You know, especially in that case, you're like, I don't really know this person, but they seem like they might be somebody. You just have to watch their fucking YouTube thing. And I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good. What do I do now? You know? This isn't good. If they were good, I'd be like, well, I guess, you know, they asked, so I should work them in, you know. Well, Chase, we should probably jump onto our, speaking of San Jose, we should jump on our first segment that we do on every podcast. It's actually a segment we call Fuck This Place ? Where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. So we have picked up some Craigslist posts from the San Jose area.
Nice.
We picked up 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read 3 titles. You'll pick the one you don't want to look at, and we'll look at the other 2, just like you're browsing Craigslist. Okay. So title number 1 is Need Necklace Made. Title number 2, Need Some Yard Work Help. A lot of need in San Jose. And then title number 3 is Entry Level Program Coordinator, $2,000 sign-on bonus. Which one do you not want to click on? The necklace, the yard work, or this sign-on bonus?
The yard work.
Okay. Yard work? Okay. Fuck that place. We don't
just some dad whose son's in college now, you know, yelling at you outside.
The son's like home for break and he's just not doing it.
He keeps calling you Brian.
Yeah, fuck that place. We are not fucking around there. Okay, so let's take a quick look at post number 1, which is Need Necklace Made. And there are no pictures. There's just a little bit of text. Oh, sorry, that's not that one. We're doing necklace. The yard work is the one that sucks. Okay, Need Necklace Made. And then the text begins. It says, hi, I'm looking for someone who can make me a necklace. I would like it to be sterling silver and in the shape of a Ouija board planchette. Is that what you, is it planchette?
Planchette, yeah.
I don't know. A Ouija board, I think it's the piece. You know what I mean? Like that little triangle piece. Why did you just say triangle piece? I would like it engraved with the words "Mom" and "Goodbye." Yeah, typical. In the same font as the classic boards. I'm willing to pay cash and would like it done ASAP. And then compensation says cash 100 plus. That's the post.
All right.
Yeah. I love that I can't tell if this post is creepy or sad. What state is what is your relationship to your mom today?
Yeah.
You know, that's why I want to know. I think it explains a lot about where this necklace is going.
Yeah, because this if your mom is has passed, I'm really sorry for you, man. If your mom is still alive, then we got problems, you know?
Yeah.
We got a manhunt coming.
Yeah. It's like if she's recently passed, I'm sorry. If she's alive, this is weird. If she passed and she's back, even weirder. Somehow even
right. Yeah, like this is the way that I say goodbye to dead mom. Who is haunting my house.
Yeah, that's insanity. This is the only way she can talk to her mom after she's dead. It's like the specificness of just like it has to be a Ouija board little thing, like so that I may listen to her tell me how much I suck when she's dead.
Another thing that I'm a little like, I got questions. It seems to me like this is pretty Googleable, right? As far as what you need, you know, like, and if it isn't Googleable, then it seems to me like you could at least piece this together with surely there is a sterling silver Ouija board thing, a necklace size on the internet, right? And then you know, it's been a long time, but I remember, you know, in like there was like a kiosk at the mall that was like, we'll engrave whatever, you know, like we'll put your name on rice, you know. I just feel like you can really piece this again. I know that this person obviously has cash 100 plus, you know, so they obviously have big bucks. Maybe that's not worth their time, but it just seems to me like you could solve this with, you know, some light keyboard work.
You can reply to this post with just a link to Etsy. right?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be someone on here.
Oh yeah, Etsy has to be rife with customizable Ouija board necklaces.
Easily.
Yeah,
That's how Etsy got started.
unless this is like a situation where like they tried to do Etsy and then it came to light how weird they were, and they're like, I got to go where the weirdos hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, they messaged somebody on Etsy and they were like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, pal.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, my plan is I'm gonna like show this to my mom, and then I'm gonna flip it, and it's gonna say goodbye, and I'm gonna kick her in a pit like 300.
Yeah. Also posted 20 days ago, so no luck, I'm assuming.
No luck.
No luck.
I mean,
Flag it.
it does. Yeah, we'll flag this post. Get out of here. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't have the skill set here, but if I did, I don't know. Again, I just feel like I'd have a better setup for myself. So I'm gonna say fuck this place for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna say fuck this place because I feel like this person is also gonna keep contacting me long after I no longer am in their life.
Yeah.
I say fuck this place because I just feel like there's a basement waiting for me to live in.
Yeah, there's a basement involved. Even
Just making necklaces.
yeah, they keep you like chained to the wall, and you're like, you're making necklaces for me now.
Yeah.
And then they start their own Etsy store, and that's no good. So
you're making your own chains that they're keeping you there with.
make it real strong.
The giant necklace goes around your wrists.
So they kidnap you, but they also trust you a lot.
Yeah, they for sure do.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously you're an artisan, so you have to take pride in your work. You're not going to make shitty.
Strong vetting
apples.
process.
Yeah. Well, fuck that place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, post number 2, all caps, entry level program coordinator, $2,000 sign on bonus, and we have 3 pictures before the ad begins. Picture number 1 is it says like something healthcare, Aviana. It looks like every healthcare logo I've ever seen. Nothing like, honestly, nothing alarming or even interesting about it. Picture number 2, not exactly what I would expect. It is a rendering of what I would call an apartment or like an office park. You know what I mean?
It feels like a little bit like Tony Stark lives there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Batman. Yeah. It's like Batman's apartment.
Yeah. He's like, it's small, but it's nice.
Yeah, but it's pretty fucking nice. But it is
in a bad neighborhood. It's where all the crime happens.
But to be clear, it's a rendering or real picture. But again, got to be a rendering. I think this is an industrial building because we have a parking lot in the back and what appears to be the kind of a drive-through area. I don't understand why we have bike racks.
Yeah.
But there's no label on it. It doesn't say that it's this healthcare place, for instance.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a drive-through at your house, though, right?
Cool.
Like for people, just come in real quick. I don't want to hang out with you. Yeah. Pop in real quick.
Yeah, if someone's
you forgot something. Here you go.
Yeah, if someone's come in the neighborhood,
Out
you're
the
like,
window.
oh great, we'll pull through, literally. And we'll just talk real quick, and then we'll be on our way.
There's like that abandoned first window that used to be for payments, and now
Yeah. They figured out they can just take a credit card and give you a drink in the same window.
Dude, there's got to be so much surveillance camera footage of me at that first window just going to hand my debit card and realizing. Oh, sorry.
Did everybody change that? Is that a universal thing now? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. You know what's actually hilarious is the McDonald's on La Brea and Santa Monica still does it a 2-window way.
Yeah.
And they're the slowest fucking McDonald's probably on planet Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I live right by there. They're super slow. They're super
it's
slow.
insane. They even added a second drive-through window. You see, there's like 2 lines that merge, and then they're still. That wasn't the problem.
They still can't do it. Yeah.
I've been there, and they have the 2 drive-throughs open, and then they also have like In-N-Out Burger style, where there's like a guy with a little tablet who's like also taking orders. But it's like, then you're like telling that guy, and he's kind of like sighing between, like he's going so slow, like just like big yawns. He's like, yeah, all right, large, all right. He's like,
okay.
Medium or large?
Yeah, it's like I'm not even hungover anymore. I've been in line so long.
I brought my own Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what this picture is. It's the Santa Monica and La Brea McDonald's,
Yeah.
but it looks real nice.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's take picture number 3. Picture number 3, difficult to tell what it is. It is a map, and it has okay. If I didn't know better, I would call this a map of like a business district. You know what I mean? Like where people are trying to promote what businesses are there, and the businesses are all trash. Like in this case, we've got multiple Starbuckses, a Ross Dress for Less, CVS Pharmacy. But but picture, if you're listening to the podcast, a map was like little dots, and then the dots are attached to what's obviously in that shopping center.
Yeah.
Just like a Pete's Coffee, a Chase Bank, a taco thing.
Togos?
Oh, Togos, yeah.
Yeah, I love
Togos. I've never been to Togos.
That was
it's
pretty
good
good.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
It looks like if Grand Theft Auto made a map, but the game was about you trying to get a legit job. Like it was like,
Or just trying to pick some up at the Verizon store.
yeah.
Yeah, just it's called Grand Theft Auto Give Up.
This is like an advertisement for every other place you could work but this spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a star in the middle. That's correct, Chase. There's a star in the middle, which I would guess is advertising their location.
Yeah.
You know.
And I would also say, like in the Bay Area, like San Jose area, just like, oh, cool. There's Panda Express only 4 miles away. That'll be a 2-hour drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Hop over there real quick on my lunch.
Yeah, you got to get on the other side of the freeway just to get there. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, and not to mention how long it's going to take that Panda Express to serve you. We've already been down that road, or should I say drive-through? Okay, there's so that's the pictures. Really,
Amenities.
almost 3. It says amenities map is what it says.
Yeah.
Ross is an amenity.
Yeah.
Ross Dress for Less. That's an amenity, folks. You got to get one of those webbed belts. Yeah, what an obscure image of 3 pictures.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the text says. The text begins and it starts, honestly, I would say the right way, because it starts with the money, because that's why I clicked on the ad, right?
Yeah.
It says $2,000 sign-on bonus, $500 30-day, $500 90-day, $1,000 180 days. So not really a sign-on bonus.
Right.
Right. It's a $2,000 work for me bonus.
Are you still alive bonus?
Yeah. And the fact that they're measured out in that many days says that nobody makes it past day 30.
If you got to day 180, it'd just be like one grumpy old man, just like 998, 999. He's like all pissed off at you. He's putting the dollars in your hands.
Yeah. I would
And they
guess
are
also,
single dollar bills.
They are single dollar bills.
and they are crumpled. They got it from a carnival.
Yeah, kind of torn or dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody was doing drugs with those bills. Those bills were used for drugs. Okay, so yeah, and then the text begins. It says, please visit our website, vianasupportservices.com, for more information. For position inquiries, please email this person's email. Honestly, that could have been the post, but it continues. Job title / position, self-determination program coordinator. What the fuck is that? Don't know, because then they go into who we are. We are currently looking. Who am I, by the way?
Just real quick. Doesn't self-determination program coordinator sounds like giving yourself a pep talk?
Yes.
Determination program coordinator. I have been my own program coordinator for that for a long time, and I've
been doing this pro bono a long time.
And I'll tell you what, I would not hire me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen my work.
The job you teach everyone else how to be self-sufficient, and then they fire you.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it's $2,000 max or $2,000 or sorry, 180 days is max, because they just like, well, you're done here. You know, everyone's self-determined. You've had enough like pep talks. Okay, it says who we are. We are currently looking for a passionate, empathetic, motivated, and committed individual to join our team. Our success is largely based on hiring ambitious team members who provide outstanding customer care. That's not, in my opinion, who you are. That's just another sentence about the team. Okay, job description summary. The self-determined It can't be a real job title, but okay. The self-determination program coordinator is responsible for processing participant referrals, service provider / vendor enrollment packets, participant authorizations, and all other forms associated with the self-determination program at Avanea. I feel like I'm reading the end of a radio ad where it's side effects of medication. The SDP. Oh wow, we're going.
Oh, wow.
We're shortening it already. The SDP. Why is it SDP when it should be SD program coordinator?
Yeah. The SDPC is what it should be.
That's true. It is right now, as it reads, the self-determination program coordinator facilitates.
It's just like, hey guys, what's that extra P we added in?
Doesn't matter. Let's talk about who we are. Okay, that person facilitates service provision for a participant / family from the initial referral through to case activation, time entry, payroll, and invoice payment. Those are all job words, for sure. Those are words that people use at jobs. This position is also responsible for editing and monitoring time entry every pay cycle as it relates to program regulations and policies.
What?
I feel like if you're a job post and you say as it relates to, seems you're filling time, and we don't, you don't have to.
Does this mean that you're like watching someone like figure out payroll? Like
editing and monitoring time entry. I mean, obviously you're doing something with payroll,
But if you're monitoring, you're watching a guy?
Yeah, but managers do that. I was a manager.
But I just mean it's like to bring someone in to do that who is like the self-determination program coordinator. That just sounds like the guy's going to be going slow with payroll, and then you go in and tell him the importance of making his bed every morning.
You got to be determined.
Like why that's beneficial for the rest of your day.
You got this, champ. Okay. An SDP program coordinator is the primary point of contact for Avanea participants and contributes to growing and maintaining relationships with participants, service providers, and referral sources through exemplary service. There's just too many big words in this for me. And I like big words.
What do you think the job title was of the guy they made write this?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't say poster extraordinaire, but I feel like that's where they started, and they were like, no, we need it more technical. This is like, again, who knows what this job really is. There's a position qualifications we're going to get to, but it does reek a little bit of like a dishwasher being like a sanitary engineer specialist. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what?
He's a cutlery specialist.
Yeah, correct. Correct. Cutlery technician.
Yes.
Okay. Position qualifications. Care about the developmentally disabled population. I think this is our key. By the way, we'll get back to it. Some college or bachelor's degree preferred but not required. Minimum of 1 year of payroll and or customer service experience within the last 4 years. Excellent interpersonal skills. Self-driven. I would say self-determined, by the way. Motivated and results-oriented. Strong analytical and judgment skills. Intermediate computer skills. Using Microsoft Windows, Word, and Excel. Ability to successfully handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Strong organizational skills. Just the number 8. Someone's getting fired. And then it says
special thanks by my good friend number 8.
Strong 8. Maybe they were just talking to 8, thrive in a fast-paced environment. And then it says thrive in a fast-paced environment again. This is when we're really starting. Oh, I see what it was. It was supposed to be bullet point 8.
This is where you got to employ your number 5, strong analytical.
Yeah. And you got to say, listen, there's an extra 8 in here.
Make lists.
Yeah, you need to make lists in this job. That's for maybe you're replacing the person who writes this post. It does. I mean, it could be pretty cutthroat. And then the last one is 9 is bilingual in Spanish preferred. And that's the post. And then of course it does say it's $21.50 per hour. And then the compensation claims to give you a 401k, PTO, sick pay, health/dental vision, incentive plans, holiday pay, and employment type is full-time. That is it.
Yeah. I think this job has the potential to actually be dope. If it's dope if it is. Yeah. Because it's like they are made like all this just sounds like jargon to scare off 90% of the people who might apply.
Right. And they might have to because of, I don't know, medical stuff or,
whatever. Yeah. This seems like it's trying to scare off 90% of the people who are qualified to do this job.
that could be it. Yeah, that
Yeah,
could be a bad
it
thing.
could be that as well. Yeah.
But it could be that you show up and there's just like a pretty chill, like, you know, supervisor type person who's like, yeah, you know, and as they're taking you back into their office, which is basically a broom closet, you know, they're talking to the people in the office and they are saying words you do not understand. Like, oh, hey, is Mike gonna go over and fortify the MGAs? And they're like, absolutely, MGAs are taken care of, pal. And he's like, chill. All right, well, yeah, let me get you some keys. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy shit. And then you get there and it's like, yeah, no, that guy just needs to go pick up a truck. Like,
You know, it's so funny that I am bilingual in Spanish. And this reminds me of my first day of going to bilingual school in my kindergarten, like a non-Spanish speaker at all. Right. And I show up like I think I was like a day or two late in starting. And so I'm like on a Wednesday and all these other kids have learned words that I've never known. Right. So I walk in and the teacher had asked if people had done the assignment. And all of these kids were saying, you'll see, which is I have, right? Like, yeah, I have, right? But I thought they were saying, you'll see. Oh, no.
Kids with a vendetta.
Just all kids like, you'll see.
And you're like nerd. You're like, yeah, you'll see. Just jumping up.
Yeah, we'll kill this teacher if we have to.
Yeah. He was like, you ain't gonna Wicker Man me, okay? I'm joining them.
Yeah. No, you're definitely going to be in over your head even if it is a good situation at first. I think this is there's a chance this is, and I've seen posts that have been written completely different for this similar genre. If this is the same genre, I do think there's a possibility that this is like an adult, what's the word? Like assistant or adult. Like you're partnering with an adult who is living with some sort of developmental disability. And I've seen them posted like a lot more like, like, hey, accompany an adult with autism to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like that makes a lot of sense. Like that makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, I'll make sure they show up to their job on time and, whatever it is. Yeah. And I know people have done that work, but like there is something it's either chill and you get there, or everyone's just gonna always be speaking to you in this like super weird coded language, and you're just gonna have to join in on the you'll sees.
Yeah, I don't know that I might. My curiosity is getting to me on this one. I might apply to see what it is and what's up, and then I would imagine that halfway through the interview that both myself and them are like, oh yeah, no. This isn't good. We're not gonna do it. So yeah, and I'll just get up in the middle of my sentence and just kind of wave and like walk out.
I will say the thing that really does give me pause is the sign-on bonus expiration dates. Like again, the fact that it's I know that it was never going to be $2,000 you walk in the door. Like I knew that was going to be the case, but the fact that they're really holding on, that you only get $500 at 30 days, that just says to me that like, most people won't last because something about this really sucks, Well, and it isn't just the fact that you're a mile from a Ross Dress for Less. You know what I mean?
Not only that, but then the next bonus they give you for doing double that time is the exact same
amount of money.
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, you're not really sticking around, because 90 days is most places probationary period.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It should have been 250, and then 750. You know what I mean? Something like that, to be like, no, we really care that you stick around. But they're like, when at 90 days, they're like, are you? Oh, really? Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, we'll give you another $500.
Hey, Mike, you got to go to the bank.
Yeah. So, and again, I also don't. I have a major fear of them not paying those bonuses at all, right?
Yeah.
But $21.50 an hour doesn't sound bad. It's just what are we really doing here? So I agree that in certain circumstances I would be willing, but I've also, I also know people that have done the like adult partnering thing. And I think it's for a really specific personality type who's like pretty chill, pretty even keeled. And I have never been either of those things. So yeah, I think ultimately it would be a fuck this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
And you want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470-BAD-JOBS.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Chase, what is the first job you ever had?
First job I ever had was working at Pizza My Heart.
Oh, dude, I was going to mention that when we were talking to the top. You said the window thing.
Yeah,
Because Pizza
yeah.
My Heart in Santa Clara or Santa Cruz has they do it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You've
was,
always been pizza.
bro, always. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, so I was working at Pizza My Heart. We opened the one that was in Valley Fair Mall.
Okay.
So that's just trash right off the bat. Like, the only saving thing for that place was it wasn't in the food court. So it's like, you know, it was like a corner spot.
It was just somewhere else in the mall, not the
just
That's
somewhere.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice, but at the same
Yeah.
time, you're just dealing with, you know, mall rats, and it's like, all right, I can't do this, you know. And honestly,
how old are you? How old are you when you got it?
16 at this point, something like that.
I love that you're already I can't do this.
Yeah.
At 16
And like you're
years
serving
old.
your own demographic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're a 16-year-old serving other 16-year-olds. You're like, no. This
Enough
is
with
not for me, folks.
these scumbags.
Yeah, no, and it never changes. It never changes.
Yeah.
I'm still serving scumbags, you know. And but they like it, and I get paid, so it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, so I'm working there, and then one day me and my friends go over to where I work now, Slice in New York, like right when they opened, like 2006, 2007. I'm probably 17. And my buddy orders food, and the owner, Kirk, is in there, and he's like, all right, like, and turns to me and my buddy's like, what do you guys want? We're like, oh, we don't have money, like, we're good. He's like, oh, well, you know, you should still eat. And he gives us 2 like free slices of cheese. I was like, this is dope. I want to work here, right?
Yeah.
So I apply, and he goes, okay, cool, we'll keep it on file, yada yada. 3 years goes by. I'm 20. I'm like, I've worked other jobs. I was like a video game tester at EA. Like,
You've
all
lived
this
a
other
life
shit.
now.
I go back to like delivering pizzas at Pizza My Heart. He calls me up. He's like, hey, we got your application here on file from like 3 years ago. You want to come check it out? And I was weirded out, but I was like, I must know what this is about. Like, who keeps an application on file from a 17-year-old for 3 years?
Yeah, it's like the beginning of the first Jumanji
flower
movie
boat.
where they find it in like a construction site and there's dust all over it.
Yeah. We're gonna steal the Slice of New York application.
Okay.
So-
So then ended up working there for 2 or something years before I moved to LA. Did 10 years there, back to Slice of New York. Full circle.
Oh man.
So all right, well, let's get back to your first experience.
Yeah.
Slice of My Heart. Is it Slice?
Oh, Pizza My Heart.
Pizza
Like
My
pizza
Heart.
of my heart, but pizza.
Pizza My Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how did you get the job? How did you?
One of my friends had the job and was they're obviously like, hey, we need more of you little minions that don't know how we should treat you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I signed on, and sure enough, they were not good.
Yeah. Cool. They're
Like,
mean.
man,
So they're mean.
Dude, if I had the wherewithal at the time, I could have sued the shit out of them. Like,
Oh wow.
crazy. Because like there was one time where it was like one of the owners came in, and he, just to help kind of like kickstart the new spot. And we're doing ovens, it's super busy, and I go to like get one of the slices out, but the little spatula pushes it farther into the oven.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck, and I'm kind of like not trying to get burnt, but I'm trying to grab it at the same time.
Trying to get in there, yeah.
And this owner goes, "Come on, you."
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
And I was like, and even at the time, I was like, do you understand how lucky you are that I'm not like homosexual? And like, I couldn't wrap my head around that I was offended, but that I'm not gay. So why does that make sense? But I know you're wrong. You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. And also this pizza is just fucking burning.
Yeah.
And this guy, he goes, "Oh, I meant, you just got to go for it." And I was like, that doesn't change.
That doesn't, yeah.
I've never heard go for it. Yeah.
Manager, like the GM, the manager that's on duty is a lesbian. So I immediately go to her and I'm like, this guy just said this to me. And she's like, "Oh, okay. Like, okay, just hold on one second." She's like, "Hey, Tim, like, come over here, And they go into the back for like a while. So I kind of am like, all right, I'm going to go back there for like cups, right? Or like refill whatever's.
Yeah.
I go back there and she's just fucking lighting him up, right? You fucking do that? You're so fucking stupid. Do you realize like what he could do? All this kind of shit. And then I was kind of like, okay. But like, how does a 17-year-old get a lawyer? Like all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
He comes out and he goes, "Hey man, I'm really sorry about like calling you that," and like all this stuff. And it was like, that was my first foray into the restaurant world. And like, I should have known that's how it was going to be.
That was just the beginning.
For the rest of the time. Right. And, but that was really crazy. That was like one of the only times I had a clear-cut lawsuit, no problem.
Right. Yeah, you had gold right in your hands.
Definitely. Like would have settled before it even went to court,
Yeah.
The guy's name's Tim Cook. He's a co-owner of Pizza My Heart. I don't know if he still works there, but if he does, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, we were really ramping up there.
Yeah. And that's how this podcast ended up in court in San Jose.
Just pretend I said that in 2007.
Yeah. It's so weird to think about like you at like 16, 17, trying to get a burning slice of pizza out of the back of an oven and also like trying to think of a lawyer you can call. Like, it's just like I'm like the same age as you. So it's like in my 16, 17-year-old head, I would just thinking of lawyers. I'd be like, Johnny Cochran? I don't know any lawyers.
Yeah. The guy on the billboard. I've never noticed his name or face or phone number. I just know that the billboard exists.
Yeah.
And Myers.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
That sucks. So not a great place.
Not a great place.
How long total were you at this first job?
So that's the thing is I think I probably worked there maybe a year and a half, something like that off the bat. And then when I went back, it was because one of the guys that I had been working with was the GM of the new spot. So it's like, oh, okay, he's cool. Like, this place won't be the same thing as the other spot. And it turned out to be all right. And shortly after I left there, it kind of crumbled to the ground. But they're also sort of, they started as like an independent cool thing. And now they're just a chain and there's, however many of them.
Yeah.
So they kind of sold out corporate style, but they're not, it's not bad pizza. It's just sort of like, shit. Rough.
Yeah.
I've never been called that at this job or pretty much any other job since then.
Yeah, probably because you shouldn't have,
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're trying to save a slice while we're in the middle of a bit. Like you're thinking of the people.
Yeah.
I could have said, fuck it, throw another one in there, let it burn.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say to your point too, like because pizza seems like a lot of things, like it's a culture thing, and like, but even the way you talked about it, when places go corporate, they don't necessarily like the product sucks, but it feels like it takes on a bit of an assembly line kind of a taste. You know what I mean? It's like, it's stopped to have that charm,
Totally. And the fact that like, you're dealing it in a mall, you're slinging slices in a mall. So there's like no loyalty. And it's just sort of like, we're starving and pissed.
Oh yeah. There's nobody who's not mad or sad who's eating in a mall.
Nobody, not a single person.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
All employees on their break, they're pissed. Like a bunch of guys who have just been sitting on couches and benches for 4 hours, like
exactly.
Shit on.
Just seeing people coming in and out of the big booty jeans store next door,
You got to have a hobby.
Yeah.
You gotta have a hobby.
Yeah. And then of course there's just the teens who, they spent
That's
too
where
long.
they get drunk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They
Mhm.
spent too long at Forever 21, and then they're out of vodka, that they were putting in their Mountain Dew or whatever it
Yeah,
was. And
yeah,
now
yeah.
it's time to get a slice, and they're cranky.
Vaguely harassing the girls at like the cookie shop or
Mhm.
whatever, just
Yeah, the
all
American,
culture.
what's that place?
Pretzels.
What's that place? The Great American
What-
Cookie Company.
What's his pretzels great? I was trying to think. There was Mrs. Fields is the one we had in the mall.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Hot dog on a stick.
Oh
Hot
yeah,
dog.
just
Yeah,
the,
of course.
oh man,
It's on a
man.
stick, we know what it is.
Okay. So Chase, that's your first job. What would you say then is your worst job you've ever had?
Oh, bro. I mean, I've worked so many jobs. Like, and there, a lot of them are bad, but then they're bad for different reasons. So
Mhm.
like,
Yeah, there's a mix,
I worked at a Greenpeace, or like for Green. No, there is no Green. I worked like for Greenpeace, and that sucked ass. Because I don't know how old I was, maybe 18, and I was just like, you'll pay me $200 a day, yippee! Like that's no bills, I'll take it.
You were like, I can finally get out of this cartoon.
Can throw away this giant hammer.
Yeah, just like
Get
I
on
can
with my
finally
life.
pay the wizard to let me out of here.
I shouldn't have been talking shit.
Okay, question on the green. Was this like was this like one of those like on the street kind of like
Yes.
Mm.
Just like the amount of people who are like, global warming's not even real, bro. Just look into it.
Yeah.
And it's like look at all right.
Uh-huh.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. There's nothing more smarmy and also lazy than look into it.
They didn't even tell you to Google it. They were like, get a library card,
Like guaranteed that guy is an anti-vaxxer now.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
absolutely.
And also guaranteed he's an anti-vaxxer and he does not have polio.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, there is it's like what I mean, we could talk for this could be an entire podcast, and I think actually there are podcasts dedicated to this, but like what is with the like shitty dude like not desire but fucking base need
Yeah.
to shout out or just simply declare loudly your dislike for something in your orbit. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
it's who
unreal.
nobody cares, dude. No one cares you don't like this.
Dude, I was walking my dogs today and there was like some guy doing like maintenance work outside and I didn't have my mask on because there's no one around. I'm on a walk,
Mm.
And this guy goes, hey, you got it right. You're trying to get some vitamin D, not try to buy it from Walgreens. And
You're
I go,
like, bro.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. And he goes,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah. I mean, Bill Gates paid Anthony Fauci a bunch of money to say that masks are effective. And I was like, fuck.
Just right
I think I'm
away,
one of
this
you.
guy.
Yeah.
You know?
You
And
just
I just was like, nah, man. I just turned and walked away. And he's like, just think about it. And I was like, there are those little phrases again.
Think
right?
about it.
Think about it. Look into it. Do your research. Like he opened the conversation by saying, it's great to actually know a bunch of virologists and biologists, as if
Oh my God. That's the thing. That's the thing I fucking hate is that there are so many dudes that are mid-stream of a conversation they've been having in their head for fucking days. And then you just show up and all of a sudden they're like, well, it's a hoax, folks. It's a hoax. And I know you know that. But now I want to agree with you. You're like, the fuck are you talking about? We weren't talking.
Oh, it's insane. It's super crazy. So yeah, the Greenpeace stuff, it was a lot of that, a lot of just like, complete did not acknowledge you. Oh, I'll come back later. I'll circle the block and come back.
Oh, absolutely.
And those are worse. Those people are worse than people who just ignore you.
Yeah.
Because they're little liars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
that was an awful job. I did that. And we had to in the training, we had to role play it with each other and shit and treat each other like they didn't know about the stuff. And it was we had to grade it on what you could have done better and all this kind of shit. I'm like, we could have harassed people to give us money better.
Yeah. I mean, I say no every fucking time. One time, the very first time, you know, I moved to Portland in like 2009, and I was on the fucking street, and I started talking to that person because it never, you know, I was just like a kid coming out of the woods, you know,
Uh-huh.
just like it just happened. I was like, oh, we're talking about, kids and safety. Okay, sure, you know, and it's like an Amnesty International thing or whatever. And then I realized, like, oh no, of course not. I'm not doing this. No, I don't have any money. You think I have money? Of course not. That's why I'm walking on the street. I'm just walking here because I have nothing. I have nothing to do. I'm nobody. I gotta go. You know, and ever since then, it's just been no. It doesn't matter what you're asking. The answer
Bro,
is
if you're
no.
Girl Scouts trying to sell me cookies, I'm like, no.
I'm good.
Like, learn early. This is how people are going to treat you, little girl.
Did you get yeses from people?
You know what? Surprisingly, yeah. Because like there are a lot of people who want to seem virtuous, and like they're not going to cancel that shit the very next day.
Like right away. Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like how many cartoon characters did I see on the name, you know, after they were done filling it out?
Oh, yeah.
That's like if you hit somebody's car in a parking lot and you leave a note that just says like, I'm not going to give you my info, but people are watching me, so I had to write this note.
Yeah.
Like, leave it under the-
I hope you're well.
You could have just kept going.
I wrote this with my left hand. The FBI will never find me.
Yeah. Signed, Lex Luthor.
Yeah. So you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And how long did you do that?
It was a few weeks for sure. I mean, you know, at this point, and how many fucking grams of weed later, I can't remember of what's happened in my life, but you know,
sure.
You know,
browning out here and there.
Trying to forget you exist, as
no biggie.
We're all trying to do. No big deal. Starbucks was awful. That was super trash. That was in LA. That was on Union and Wilshire, I think. So like right where Koreatown hits downtown. And so you're getting, I mean,
it's right where shit neighborhood meets shit neighborhood.
and like where all the lawyers are who are convicting or like, you know, prosecuting all of those people, right? So like,
oh yeah, I think I know this Starbucks. I had to go one time because I had a court thing. Yeah. Everything's fine, folks.
And busy as fuck because it's like in the same lot as a Home Depot.
Yeah.
You know, and like a good truck and all this kind of shit. So, you know, getting a lot of different people in there. And that's an interesting job because you are an over-the-counter drug dealer and there's no regulation. So it's like these people come in and they're already late for work, but they're addicted to caffeine and they won't do it themselves. So they come in and they're like, how long is it going to be? Like, I'm going to be late for work. And I'm like, why the fuck did you even come in here?
Have you been in these Starbucks before? We're busy as shit every fucking day.
I mean, it's absolutely, and the thing that really, I mean, the you know, the manager was a 4'11" guy who talked shit to everybody and like couldn't even bench the bar probably. Like, just like that was frustrating. My coworker, pretty unironically, or not even ironic, just like it makes sense that everyone that works in a shitty place are all really good friends because you're just, like, united against this enemy and these fucked up caffeine addicts and you know, tiny manager and you know, just all this shit. But the thing that really like destroyed me was there was this guy who would come in probably like once every week, every 2 weeks, and he would get to the front of the line and then give you his little rewards card and just pay for everybody that after him until he said stop. So he would sometimes just sit there and just, I swear to God, 100 people. He would just like ring them up on his Starbucks card, right? Whatever they wanted, no matter what they wanted, you know, they could have it, right? And more than half of the people that happened to didn't even acknowledge him, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, just like, fuck this fucking guy.
Which is the
paying
most
for my
LA
order.
shit I can possibly imagine. Like, oh, finally, I'm getting what I deserve.
Yeah.
Like a man who pays for my whole life. You know? And we made it a point, and like it would piss all of the workers off because we liked the guy, right? He's like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And so every time, because they're shocked, they're like, why is it free? And it would get to the point where we would be like, that man right there sitting right behind you paid for all your food. And they go, oh, okay. and you could tell they're not going to say thanks, and you go, you should say thank you to him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they'd be like, oh, okay, thank you. And they just kind of like walk away. And I was just like, we are the Comet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we are what will destroy us, and there's no question about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That shift I quit. I walked out of. I was just like, I'll finish this shift because I don't want to fuck you guys, but I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
And that was powerful.
And you probably weren't even the only person to do that inside a year or a 3-month period.
Yeah.
I saw it happen 2 other times before I left. I mean, like we would play like to get everybody out at the end of that, because you got those dudes that are literally just using the Wi-Fi on their computer doing work in a suit. So like maybe don't buy the suit, buy internet at your fucking apartment.
Yeah.
That's aside the point, right? And they'd be there just all night, and so we would just start blasting like fucking Big Pimpin' or some shit while we're cleaning up, turn up all the lights, stack the chairs like on top of their table, like you know what I mean? Like no fucking decorum whatsoever, no professionalism at all. Just like, I hope you slip. Actually, I'm not putting out the wet sign.
Yeah.
And yet no professionalism, and yet they're wearing ties.
Mm-hmm.
The gall.
Yeah,
which is like probably the most dangerous garment you could possibly put on. Like, you are at your most vulnerable if you're wearing a tie. I will control your whole body if you're wearing a tie.
That's true. Someone could choke you out, and they don't even have to be that strong.
Yeah. And Chase is he's a jujitsu guy, so he can. He can. Wow. I was just thinking like a regular guy could control you if they grabbed your tie. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like they could,
that doesn't know jujitsu
easily.
And also just
you're like, I'll hang you. With
and it's like, and at the very least, maybe you come up to me, you pull that tie, it's a clip on. I'm at least embarrassed. I'm at least, you've emotionally dominated me now, Either
way, you'll never set foot in that Starbucks again.
Yeah, I'm out of there. I run out, you hear a gunshot in the distance. I killed myself after that.
I mean, that's what happens to clip-on ties.
Yeah.
So how long you at that Starbucks?
That was like 6 months.
Yeah.
It was just, I needed the money. So
what led you, there's always a little something that forces your hand, so to speak, into a less than ideal situation. Totally. So either for the Starbucks or for the Greenpeace, like what was going on that you were like, I kind of have to do this.
Greenpeace,
or maybe it'll be neat,
Yeah. Greenpeace, I think, I mean, you guys know this, like as an artist of any kind,
as a fucking
anything
idiot
that will pay you money,
yeah.
I'll take it until I won't take it, and then I'll go find another place that pays me money, right? So I worked a lot of jobs, and a lot of those jobs I cannot put as a reference,
But the other thing is, you don't need them. You don't need them as a reference.
I don't.
You don't even need them on your resume sometimes.
Yeah. As if we're all not just putting our dads, like, their phone number on as like the old, contact him. He was the manager.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. I'm really proud of him.
Really proud of him. Wish he would call me more.
Yeah. Really proud of him. I love him, and his mom misses him.
Got a good throwing arm. Real good throwing arm.
Could have gone pro. He could have gone pro.
It really set his mind to it. You know what I mean?
And you say you're the manager of a Best Buy, sir, and he was throwing the football around in there.
That's right.
That guy can really get a pigskin going. So obviously that mentality is like, fuck it, yes, I'll do the Greenpeace thing, yes, I'll do the Starbucks thing.
Which is, and I kept doing jobs because like for the last, I don't know, 7 years I was in LA, I was bartending, just working at, which is like the king of service jobs. Like that's probably within the realm of a restaurant, you want to be the bartender.
As far as money goes,
like how relaxed it is, your ability to be confrontational with customers,
your ability to control the situation.
And then the thing that people don't really think about is, as the bartender, you are the chef. There is no middleman. There is no person that you have to talk to get stuff from me. I'm it. Right. So if you're a server, it's like people, you are just someone I must speak to.
You're an intermediary.
Right. But if, you know, but if you're watching a bartender and you're like a nice and decent person and you watch them bust their ass, like this is how everyone talks to bartenders, like, oh, like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that I'm here,
Like-
but I would like your help. I need it.
Yeah.
Right. So that was nice, just like a little more leeway, and that's why I was able to do it for so long. The pay's good, and obviously like you're drinking and everyone's drinking, and so it's sort of like it's chill till it's not, and then we deal with it when it isn't. But it's, you know, and that's like, I mean, God, the stories go on forever with that shit, because I've worked at every kind of bar, like I mean every kind, right? And
It's chill till it's not, but you still have the leverage, you know,
yes,
of like this person is out and
Yes.
or I will not be serving them. Whereas I mean, I don't even know the last time that I've been in an environment where a server was able to make that, like a wait staff was able to make that call, you know.
like never.
You know, unless someone's so obvious that everybody's going to make that call. You know what I mean? Like some person gets up from their table and they're wielding a machete. It's like, okay, well, this person's leaving, you know, like this is a universal decision. We wouldn't need anybody, you know, special to see that.
Yeah. And you know, and that's where it gets kind of dicey when you tell an alcoholic they can't drink anymore.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, you know, you got to go. And they're like, oh, you don't know. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
But I smell. And,
I smell, and you're in here every day.
You're
like,
here for 9 hours, dude.
Yeah, like I know your limits. It's always a guy named Ray.
Oh man, Ray, you know Ray? Yeah, man.
Yeah, fucking Ray.
Dude, I was gonna say, because I was a barista for many years as well, and I always looked at being a barista. And to your point about the crazies in that environment, like being a barista is kind of like being a bartender in reverse.
Yes.
Where they come in at their craziest and it's up to you to normalize them. Yes. Whereas in a bar, they come in normal, and as the night goes on, they start getting weird on you.
Yes.
You know, but in either case, there's so much people managing. There's so much. And like, to your point, like everyone's nice to the bartender, but they shit on the barista. Like the barista, you know, it's crazy how, like what people feel like they're entitled to because you're wearing an apron. You know what I mean? Because you're in some kind of a uniform, like a bartender's in a
emasculating garment.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's all leather, you know?
No,
that's true. Unless you're like grilling meat.
Yeah. That's true. Or you're like a butcher, but I mean, like in the way of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like Leatherface wore an apron, and no one really fucked with him. Yeah. He was wearing a face.
He's wearing a face, and he also had a chainsaw. So,
yeah. But outside of that, I mean, Leatherface is the only barista anyone ever respected.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed.
No, Leatherface is what happens when you disrespect your barista too much.
Oh, yeah. He's gone too far.
They'll turn, you know.
Yeah, he moves out to San Antonio, meets a couple other guys. They get weird.
You ask for an extra shot one too many times. San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's like bartending wise, you know, I know it's kind of just like this one giant category for you. But like, what made you want to get into the game, and what made you get out of the game?
So getting into it was like, you know, I was serving and running food and all that shit. And I was like, I want to be behind a bar now. I want to minimize the place I have to run.
Let's make this surface area smaller.
Yeah. And then after just being a barback for so long, and then like refusing to acknowledge that I could be a bartender, I was like, hey, like I can't. It's a lot of just like reminding the people that hired you that you are better now. Hey, I've learned skills as any person with a brain would, being in a place for, you know, a year, however long you do it. And a lot of it too is other bartenders like giving you the shot because they were barbacks, and they're like, yeah, you can do it. Like, what? Don't let them tell you can't. Right? Just like push them until you're a barback, or until you're a bartender, you know. So it's a lot of that, a lot of weird politics where you got to be like, you know, hey, like I worked at a place, an Italian restaurant, and there was 5 or 4 bartenders, and I was the only barback, right? So I would be working with 2 bartenders as a barback, but also like pouring wine, and like I know the menu and I know, you know, all the shit, and they'd be showing me how to make drinks on the side. And then eventually I had to pitch it to the chef / owner, which is the worst combination owner at a restaurant. The chef owner, because all chefs for some reason have the same disposition. Like someone hurt them so bad. Now they're trying to repay that, through everyone that works for them. So this man tells me
regularly screaming at the clouds
all the time. And then afterwards being like, look, man, I do it because I love you. And he's like giving you
or worse, because I love food. You know what I mean? Like, well, I understand an abusive relationship with me, but an abusive relationship with food in general, like, fuck, man, we're in trouble.
The proof is in the success of chef TV shows.
Yes,
like how they're all like that. All pushing you like they're your high school wrestling coach.
It's almost like all of the chefs who aren't on TV did it because the guys on TV did do it like that.
It
started out nice, and then Gordon Ramsay was like, "You're an idiot sandwich," and they're like, "Okay."
I don't know. I think chicken and egg here. It's harder to see where where the snake is eating its own tail, but I think this is a universal thing.
Person.
I think that chefs are just, in general, they're very mean people.
They are. So I had to pitch it to him and be like, hey man, like I'm kind of doing all the jobs as a bartender, but I'm not getting paid, like tipped out the same way. Like, is it possible that we can just make me a bartender? Because there's no other barbacks, right? And he goes, and he, this is a guy who kind of like thinks he's smart.
Yeah, because he runs a successful business and he uses that accolade to cover everything.
Yeah, and it's closed now and it failed, so that kind of goes
right. We mean successful at the time.
and he goes, okay. He thinks about it for a second. He goes, what you're describing to me kind of sounds like a chef sous chef relationship, right? Like the sous chef does a lot of work. He really busts his ass so that the chef can shine. And like tries to like pitch this shit to me like I'm important, like I'm more important than I realize, right?
You're like, I know exactly how important I am. That's why we're talking here.
Right. He needs to have that self-developmental fucking whatever job.
Self-determination. Right?
Self-determination. Right. He's giving me the self-determination speak, and I go, I swear to God, he goes on for like 5 minutes, and I go, yeah, that's great. But this situation is like there's 5 chefs and 1 sous chef.
Oh wow, you used his own metaphor against him.
And he goes, no, you're right about that. And I was a bartender from
right.
He was like, yeah, there's 5 Batmans, but you're the only Robin. Isn't that cool?
You don't have a car, but you're riding it.
But you get beat up a lot.
Man.
And the way they fired me was by just not scheduling me anymore and not telling me.
Oh, fuck.
So like on my birthday dinner, I'm at my in-laws' house. And I kind of casually check when I'm working the next day or the next week, and there's just nothing there. And I go, I'm pretty sure I'm fired. On my birthday.
Man, that fucking sucks.
It was weird. It was very weird. But now they're dead, and I don't care.
Yeah. It's I guess at that point you were like, I'm not gonna call anybody about this. Like this is over.
Yeah. No.
I mean, do you know if there was a reason? Were you rubbing, like, was there a lot of friction between that?
No.
The guy who's super bad at metaphors?
No, I think they were just trying to gradually weed people out so the labor would go down and just stretch it as thin as they could until they couldn't sustain it. So I was just like, all right, I've already fought more than I even needed to at this place. I'll just
you
go
were
to
just a
another
casualty in a very large scale war,
Big,
like,
yeah.
Do this.
150 seats in your okay, we get it. You're big time.
Got it. Well, Chase, we usually close the podcast with 3 questions to make sure we kind of cover the bases. The first question is like kind of for your worst job, when were you done and how did you quit? I think we actually know how you left all of those jobs. Oh, I think we don't know how you left Greenpeace. How did you leave the Greenpeace job?
Same way. I actually probably 2-week noticed that one because I was still
Young enough to know. Yeah.
Yeah, just been like, like I want to be able to use user reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not even gonna
Like,
pick up the
just had
fucking
no idea.
phone when when
Right, if I could go back, I would have just like slammed the fucking clipboard on the ground and just been like, "Fuck this! I know it isn't real," and just like,
and then you would have gone viral, dude. You know, just get someone to like turn that iPhone on, turn that iPhone 4 on. Let's go.
yeah, right. Yeah, probably iPhone 1.
Yeah, iPhone 1. Okay. Question number 2 is, and this can be for any job, really, even if one you have a name. What's one good thing you took from any of those bad jobs?
Interesting question, because
Yeah.
I think I've like maybe inadvertently formed a personality trait of like people treat you the way you let them treat you. Throughout the rest of my life, and that has benefited me in the way that you don't walk all over me because I will say something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's sort of like, maybe I jumped the gun and you're not an asshole.
Sure.
I'm like, you will not dishonor me.
Yeah.
Like you have a sword drawn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I think that's it. Mostly just like sort of like I'm a human being before I'm any job title.
Right.
So the minute that you start assuming I'm the job title and not a person, I'm going to remind you, however harshly, that I am a human.
Right.
If I fart in, being me man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, me man.
Yes.
Me man. Global warming is a hoax. Me man. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you sort of develop that skill set.
Yeah, just and a lot of like conflict resolution and just sort of like honestly, how many tweets have there been about like service workers have more de-escalation training than cops?
Yeah,
where,
sure. Yeah,
100%.
I can talk down an angry drunk with no gun.
Yeah.
So fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, look, dude, we are gonna figure this out.
Yeah, they're like,
you
you're
and
right.
me.
You're right, man. I love you so much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. Like, this is a little bit of Nick's story corner, but it just in the way of like, I feel like that same thing where it's like, it's been years and years of different scenarios where it's still getting shit on to where you have to develop this like universal set of like communication. Where it's just like, yes, I know how to keep you at a distance no matter where we're at. I guess it should be both ways, but I've always only thought of it. It's like when being nice to a customer, I don't think any customer deserves more than a little bit than they're giving to you. So if someone's like pretty nice, you can be a little bit more than pretty nice, and then they feel like they're getting great customer service, but it's like, the lower the bar goes, it's just like, okay, well, I'm always going to be more professional than you, but I'll let you know that I see you as much as you see me. This is not a two-way mirror. This is, or what is it, like the double-sided mirror thing where you can see me and I can't see you back.
Totally. And it's like rampant. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll have like 2-hour wait times sometimes.
Oh wow.
And there's no delivery. It's pickup only. Which is like such a move that I love. Sorry, fucker. And people will call, and even quoting like 50-minute wait. People are like, ooh. I don't know about that. And like kind of like saying it in a way, leaving the door open for me to fix it somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know if we want to order then. And I go, well, we are very popular.
Yeah,
Friday night at 7. So you are dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want fucking Domino's, you know how to order it, dude. Like,
and you can watch them come to your little house.
And you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get diarrhea pizza, and it's gonna be good. You know?
But it's also, it's like, and you know what? And then they're gonna treat the Domino's guy like shit for doing what they want him to do.
What they wanted all along.
But then they won't follow up with you and have that same attitude with you because they know they can't get away with it.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, they'll treat you like you allow them to treat you,
as if them not ordering the pizza eliminates the 200 other orders we have.
Right.
Well, you better keep me on, or else you're not making that money.
Yeah. And it's like, I make an hourly rate.
Yeah.
I'm not making any fucking money from your pizza. I mean, obviously, I want pizzas to be delivered, but
Yeah.
your pizza doesn't mean jack fucking shit to me. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and the tension building in you is equally rising at the level I'm just getting paid by the hour.
Your frustration cost this business 25 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love a business that draws some boundaries. I love a business that closes on weird days. You know, like we're closed on Tuesdays. You
We're
know,
closed
Mondays. Great.
Mhm.
Just be closed.
Because
you know?
people are shitty on Mondays.
Oh, really?
That's the whole reason. Because it's Monday. Like I got to start the 5/7 of my week that I hate of my life.
That is true. That is true. And I also think like my favorite sushi spot to eat back home in Stockton is closed Sundays or whatever it is. But I just know that. And I don't care. And I'm bummed out if I'm there and it happens to be that day and I'm like, oh, that sucks. But then I just fucking go there when it's open and I still love it.
I also love patroning a business that guarantees, from the outside, everybody gets at least one fucking day off, right? Like everybody always gets it. And I mean, I know that everywhere you legally can't do that, but it's just nice to be like guaranteed, like their staff is not here, maybe some managers coming in and doing some cleaning or whatever.
It goes a really long way, especially in like the customer loyalty. Because I mean, he gives us like this spot that I'm at now is literally a career. Like we're making, because he took away the tipping option and he just added a surcharge and he said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will tip us, especially if you're eating here during a pandemic. Like, so we're getting like a consistent amount of tips every hour and it's really predictable and all this stuff. He gives us like dividend bonuses when we have a good quarter. It's like paid time off. Like it's like
real, like a real job.
Like we own it. We're the owners. You know what I mean? There's like committees that decide what we do with marketing and innovation and finance and like all this kind of shit. And then the whole co-op votes on it. Like all the board members vote on it. And and it's like, so it's literally a place where if you have an idea, it can be implemented into the business and you can watch how it works real time and kind of like, test your shit out. So it's a really good spot. And we have signs in the front of both businesses that say like, if you are disrespectful or have a bad attitude, we don't serve you.
Yeah.
So it's like from the get, it's like, look, man, read the fucking sign.
Yeah. Like like you just stop being mean people. Everybody stop it.
Stop.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, question number 3, not related to those jobs, is, we've had a pandemic. Lot has changed. How are you doing? It's maybe over. I don't know. India's real bad right now. Go ahead.
When is it not?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like every time on NPR, like you ever notice that?
Yeah,
like something on NPR, it's like, okay, now we're going to the correspondent in Jordan and see how that goes. And they're like, it's real bad.
Like, folks, it's real bad here.
I mean, I think a lot of people's theme throughout the whole pandemic has been like, it could be worse, and just sort of like gaining gratitude for the stuff you have and the stuff you don't have, COVID, hopefully, right? And like just trying to be like, okay, like it could be so much I could be homeless. They could be, they could be like crazy about rent, whatever, all this kind of stuff. And I think honestly, the thing that eventually drove me out of LA was like, because we spent the whole pandemic in LA, like just like when no one was there, like blah blah blah, everyone left.
It ain't an easy place to hang,
No, it's bad, and what really fucked it up for me was like we reopened the show, we're doing it, social distance, masks, all that kind of shit, and the requests start to come in, and I start to deal with comedians on the regular a little more, and I'm like, a pandemic has not changed you. Nothing in this life will change you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be around that group of people. Like I have like one of my sayings. Yeah. What
are your old sayings?
One of my sayings is I love doing comedy, but I hate being a comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hate, like, comedians are just so many of us are like people who got shit on and have felt so bad in our lives and like, oh, I wish I could be part of that clique, or like blah blah blah, and then got to adulthood and then just made a clique.
Yeah.
And like, and it's very exclusionary. It's not welcoming. You know, it takes a while to find like your group and your groove and who's, you know, who's legit and who's not, and like all that kind of stuff. And I just decided like, man, I'm going to do this for fun. I'm going to make money. You know, like I'm going to turn this into a way to make money, and I'm going to do comedy, and I will deal very minimally with comics. Like I will do as much or as little as I want. I'll just be like, oh, you send a request. Maybe I'll get to it. But I swear to God, I mean, almost any lineup you see on my show is people that didn't request to be on it. Or like a friend or somebody, you know, it's like somebody I'm just like, look, like I'm curating this. This is who I would want to see if I was there. Like this is it, right? With like a few, I mean, we take requests. We're not like,
obviously you're not a monster.
We're not fucking crazy.
You're not a monster. You're just trying to avoid all the other monsters.
Exactly. Trying to be like a little monster, like a baby monster.
I totally agree with you, man. I feel the same way. Like, so people ask me like, once in a while, like, oh, who would you, what is making it or whatever, you know? And like, I remember just hanging out at the Comedy Store once, which like I not nothing personal towards them. I hate hanging out. I hate stand-up comic hangout culture at any club. I just don't like it. And but I remember being there once, and Daniel Tosh pulled up and parked his car, said hi to a few people, went on almost immediately, did 15 minutes, got off, said goodbye to people, thanked him, and got in his car and left. And I was like, that's the fucking dream right there. Like, just like not hanging out, just doing it, just getting up and getting to do the best part of it. And then not having to deal with the bullshit that comes with it, you know? I was like, oh, dude, that's so cool. So I hear you, man. Yeah. I'm going to steal that. I like doing comedy. I hate everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. 100%.
Oh, man.
Well, Chase, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a
Where
blast.
can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
Nah.
All right. And those links will be in the show notes.
Awesome.
Word. Well, fuck this place.
Dude. It's great to see you, brother. Yeah, fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
All right, episode's over. We did it. Look, I know that I sometimes use a nice mic here. Look, I broke my fucking wrist, okay? And it's just, it's a lot of work to get that fucking, put it together and plug it in. So, just for a couple weeks, we gotta, you know, it's just me and this cheaper mic, and that's just the way we're gonna do it. All right, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this place.